भोला भाला था, सीधा सादा था, मैं तो नादान था। दुनियादारी से होशियारी से मैं तो अनजान था।
When I first heard this song today, I felt that the song has unlocked a deep collective trauma. It felt like someone has pinched the knob around and released all the pain engraved deep down inside of us. Is it the rag of the song, or the composition of the song, or the lyrics, or the musical arrangement, or the singing, or the storytelling of the song? What is it exactly? Let's find out. I'm not sure what the rag of the song is, but it is based on the same one of the previous two versions, right? Then how does it sound so different? Well, it's not just the rag that creates this magic, but the use of some unexpected flat notes in the antara of the song.
आधा अधूरा था बदन ये मेरा, एक गर्क था, जो घर था मेरी जन्नत एक नर्क था। आधा अधूरा था बदन ये मेरा, एक गर्क था, जो घर था मेरी जन्नत एक नर्क था।
Oof. These notes create goosebumps any number of times I listen to the song. It feels almost like an inexplicable intellectual orgasm. That is where the song literally kidnaps you. To be able to do that was a masterstroke as a composer. You keep your audience aligned with the old versions of the song, yet pull out strings from the depths of the original one, that it becomes the roar of the song. The lyrics is immensely metaphoric, capturing almost 5 different emotions with clarity, precision, and dealing with the different turning points of the protagonist's life in such a concise yet profound way. There's a clear progression in the pattern of evolution of the character of the song. The arrangement of all the musical instruments, in fact, was so efficiently done that it made the right application of all the musical laws, starting from how the song progresses from innocence to deep wound, to corruption of the innocence, to darkness, to vengeance, to fearlessness, to a black hole. Note how the song closes in a high-pitched note. The sargam doesn't return to any lower notes, letting it rest in the restlessness at its peak. It is one of the very rare film song compositions where the song doesn't come back to the mukhra and ends it in a place to never return, creating a black hole effect. I call it a black hole effect. In this context, I am reminded of a few songs composed by Rabindranath Tagore where he did not return to the mukhra and closed it in a place of not returning. Here you can see how music is silent yet so loud. As possessed by a master in singing, who is not only a very efficient singer, a legend, but also a very emotionally intelligent singer, Sonu Nigam. Who could have emoted this song better than him? He proved once again why he is a legend. The way he effortlessly packed all the cartridges of the song on his backpack and seamlessly traversed through the crests and troughs of the song is going to live longer than we can imagine. There's a story in the song, and not just a story, but an authenticity in the telling of the story that a majorly pained world now resonates with. The song is like a huge wave of pain that carries all of us in it. I am drawn by this song now to go and watch if the film is also made so mindfully as this song has been made. However, as I sat with these emotions, I began to see clear patterns emerge. And hence, I wanted to break this song down in patterns. Footnote: isn't it mesmerizing to see how music itself is a pattern language? Anyway, so let's break down this song into emotional and thematic patterns that show the protagonist's journey. Pattern 1: Innocence. This pattern represents pure, untainted state of being. We know what innocence feels like or looks like, right? Pattern 2: Wound or betrayal. This pattern represents the moment of transformation through pain. That is when you are getting introduced to another new pattern. The innocent pattern is getting introduced to the betrayal pattern. Now something new is going to form. Pattern 3: Broken sacred spaces. This pattern represents corruption of what was once pure. Now when the amalgamation between the innocence and betrayal happens, it creates corruption of what once was pure, as per this protagonist story in the song. Pattern 4: Vengeance, or you can call it transformation. This pattern represents the path of darkness from light. Right? So the pain, the shift in pattern that happened is now darkened, is now more robust in the darker side. The darkness now is born from the light. Pattern 5: The immortal spirit. This pattern represents transcendence through pain. The line, ये जिस्म खत्म होता है, ये रूह तो नहीं मरती, testifies that. This song is actually a perfect example of how patterns evolve, as we just saw. From innocence to wound, to corruption, to darkness, to transcendence. It's like watching a pure white cloth being stained, burnt, and then emerging as something entirely different from what it was, but becoming something indestructible. Now I could have ended this video here, but see, I won't do it right here. Why? Because I want to show you something I can see. See it from where I see it. This evolution of patterns is good, but it is being used by the protagonist for vengeance, which is a negative pattern. It is a positive pattern to be motivated by the fearlessness that the knowledge of immortality of the spirit can bring, but it is good only until it is used to break the oppression, not become the oppressor oneself. What do you think? We need that in this pattern depicted, isn't it? Let's do it. The current pattern needs to show this duality and the moral choice point. Let me create a modified version of the final pattern that shows both the potential paths. One where spiritual power is used for vengeance, that is descending, and the other one where it's used for transcendence, which is ascending. I call vengeance the anti-pattern of liberation. Why? Let's see the contrast between the two. Let's see and find out what each of the patterns lead us to. Vengeance or any such coping mechanism like suicidal or homicidal tendencies, addiction or narcissism or vengeance are not effective coping mechanisms because it creates an infinite loop of trauma. Just where the song ended in the vengeance, it did not come back to Bhola Bhala because vengeance takes one to a black hole of revenge from where there's no coming back. Hence, right here, liberation becomes a better choice because the pattern of liberation resolves one's pain and trauma and liberates one from the loop of trauma as well. These patterns we see in the song are not unlike the patterns we develop in our earliest relationships. To explain this better, let us take the example of attachment styles. There are 4 different types of attachment styles. Number 1, anxious attachment style, which is an insecure attachment style. Number 2, avoidant attachment style, which is again another insecure attachment style. Disorganized attachment style. This is a very confusing insecure attachment style. And lastly, the secure attachment style, which is the only good one. I think I would like to talk about the avoidant attachment style and the anxious attachment style. How 2 different children cope differently to the inconsistent attention of their caregivers and become either avoidant or anxious. Look at this still face experiment.
This is something that we started studying 30, 40 years ago when people didn't think that infants could engage in social interaction. In the still face experiment, what the mother did was she sits down and she's playing with her baby who's about a year of age.
I'm like a girl. Oh.
And she gives a greeting to the baby gives a greeting back to her.
Yeah.
This baby starts pointing at different places in the world, and the mother's trying to engage her and play with her. They're working to coordinate their emotions and their intentions, what they want to do in the world. And that's really what the baby is used to. And then we ask the mother to not respond to the baby. The baby very quickly picks up on this, and then she uses all of her abilities to try and get the mother back. She smiles at the mother. She points because she's used to the mother looking where she points. The baby puts both hands up in front of her and says, "What's happening here?" She makes that screechy sound at the mother, like, "Come on, why aren't we doing this?" Even in this 2 minutes, when they don't get the normal reaction, they react with negative emotions. They turn away. They feel the stress of it. They actually may lose control of their posture because of the stress that they're experiencing.
Okay. I'm here. And what are you doing? Oh, yes. Oh, what a big girl.
It's a little like the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is that normal stuff that goes on, that we all do with our kids. The bad is when something bad happens, but the infant can overcome it. After all, when you stop the still face, the mother and the baby start to play again. The ugly is when you don't give the child any chance to get back to the good.
This experiment, which I watched through a two-way mirror, is designed to gauge how secure is the crucial relationship between mother and child.
Okay, this bunny is going to go here, and that bunny will be on top.
The value of the test has been established in studies that would watch a child 1 year old and then follow it up and interview them about their relationships to their parents when they were 21 years old. So we're quite confident in the long-term significance of this relationship.
Peter, that's Peter.
After several minutes of play, the mother is signaled to leave the room.
Sweetie, I'll be back in 1 minute, okay? I'll get you back in 1 minute.
I'm just upsetting for you. Sharon, I feel. But she'll survive. The key moment in the experiment is the child's reaction to her mother's return.
The important clue is whether the baby's able to become calmed down by the contact with the mother and get back to play. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes. But you see, when the mother was out, she was only interested in the mother, no interest in the toys. Now she has a contact with the mother. She's beginning to show a little interest in the environment. And shortly, she'll be right back with the toys where we started.
So you would call this a secure one?
Yes, yes.
She's certainly much happier.
Goes to the door following her. Now, we sent the mother right back in. The point here is not to distress the baby. We're just trying to challenge it. The baby puts her hands to her face in a sad expression, puts her face down. When she picks her up, she keeps her head down, her arms out, and then she sits in the chair holding the baby. The baby's still sullen. He's low-keyed.
So you would call this insecure
yes,
attachment?
Insecure. He's avoidant. He's not engaging her, and the reunion's not effective. And it's important to remember here that the thing that upset him was her absence. Her return should be the solution to his problem. Now, this is another pattern that we see in babies who are not good at using their mother as a secure base at home. This baby is also insecure. But you'll see, we got a look at his play before the separation. The mother's left. And when she returns, she picks him up. He can't calm down. He's still upset. She offers a toy to amuse him or to comfort him or to distract him, and he slaps it away. She offers another. He slaps it away. He's angry. We call these babies resistant or ambivalent because they both want her back and yet can't use the contact. We think that the difficulty is that in the past, when he sought comfort, she's been inconsistent as to whether she's available and responsive or not.
What is the impact of these patterns in adult life? Please note, neither of the insecure attachment styles are healthy, right? Avoidant attachment is an attachment style that develops in childhood when a child doesn't receive the care and attention they need to develop healthy relationships. People with avoidant attachment may have difficulty with emotional intimacy, be uncomfortable around others, have a strong desire for independence, have difficulty trusting others, find it hard to express their emotions and needs, deny their needs for closeness, be reluctant to reveal personal details. Avoidant attachment can impact a person's romantic relationships, friendships, and other connections. People with avoidant attachment may withdraw when someone tries to get close to them, pull away, break up with a partner, or distance themselves from friends and family. Have difficulty verbalizing when they do have emotional needs. Be quick to find fault in others as well. Now let's look at the anxious attachment style. An anxious attachment style is a type of insecure attachment that can make it difficult to form healthy relationships. People with anxious attachment may have a fear of rejection and abandonment, be overly needy and crave emotional intimacy, worry about the strength of the relationships, require constant reassurance, have low self-esteem, overanalyze their partner's behaviors, have big reactions to small conflicts. Anxious attachment style can develop in childhood and can be caused by inconsistent or traumatic responses from caregivers. For example, a caregiver who is sometimes supportive and attentive but other times unavailable can make it difficult for a child to trust their caregivers. Sad. In both the patterns, the individuals are stuck in the survival mode, creating trauma response to further trap themselves in the survival mode with an illusion of constant threats. On the contrary, the secure attachment pattern allows an individual to assess the threats in reality, allows one to experience love and surrender in the true sense when available, making one journey towards self-awareness and self-actualization, that is, meeting all the needs of Maslow's hierarchy of needs possible. Secure pattern endows real freedom. So what will you choose now as an adult? Is the question. This reminds me of an ancient wisdom. Do you know about Panchkosh model? What happens to us when we die? Do we really die or just our physical body dies? This breakdown of our being into 5 layers is mentioned in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. This brings a profound depth to that line, Zinda rahegi hoke fana, isn't it? Let me connect this ancient wisdom to our discussion about patterns. The Panchakosh model describes our 5 sheets of existence. Annamaya Kosh, that is the physical body, the food sheath. Pranamaya Kosh, that is the energy body, the vital force. Manomaya Kosh, the mental body, thoughts and emotions. Vigyanmaya Kosh, that is the intellectual body, wisdom and discernment. Anandmaya Kosh, the bliss body, which is pure consciousness. The song's line, "Ye jism khatam hota hai, ye ruh to nahi marti." This body ends, but the soul doesn't die, directly aligns with this understanding. When it says, "Zinda rahegi hoke fana," will live on even after being destroyed, be it love or hatred. It's referring to how only the Annamaya Kosh perishes while the other 4 koshas continue their journey. What I feel having all of this said is that you are a pattern, I am a pattern, we all are patterns, and we are constantly influencing one another with our patterns. If we really want to do anything worthwhile for ourselves, we got to use our conscience. That is the pattern preference model we just discussed, to choose the pattern that creates a win-win for all. क्योंकि जिंदा रहेगी होके फना.
Na 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 tum, na 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 tum, na 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 tum, na 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 na.